All right, Shalom, Israel. First and foremost, as always, I would like to give all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakaha, Quadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing His truth and sincerity, while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai. The majority of the world will take the mark of the beast. Now, usually, I do not, because of YouTube's algorithms, I usually don't, just blatantly come out and say it like that. But today, I am going to come out and say it like that. We usually say MOTB, which is an acronym for Mark of the Beast. And the majority of the world is going to take the mark of the beast. You can look at these people. You can look them right in their eyes. You can look them right in the face. And you can tell that they're going to take the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast is a physical mark. It is not a spiritual mark. It is not a philosophy. The mark of the beast is not sleeping with the so-called white woman. It is not a corporation. It is not an embargo. The mark of the beast is the RFID CHIP. That is what the mark of the beast is. And the majority of the people on this planet is going to take it. And I say on this planet because according to Revelation, the 3rd chapter, it is an hour of temptation which will come upon all the world to try them. And when you go into that word try, it means to pierce. Okay? And ultimately, this hour of temptation is a test to see who's loyal to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, and who's not. And if you're loyal to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, you're not going to take the mark of the beast. You are not going to take it. Ultimately, we know that the elect of the nation of Israel will not take the mark of the beast, because the elect of the nation of Israel is eternally loyal to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai. I'm going to say it again. The elect will never take the mark of the beast. The elect of the nation of Israel, the 1/3, they will never take the mark of the beast because they are eternally loyal to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai. The majority of the world is not loyal to Yahweh Bashem Yahawashai. The majority of the world is loyal to Satan. And I don't care what you say. If you worship Buddha, if you worship Mecca, if you worship Shiva, if you worship Mecca, if you worship Jesus, the Christ, if you worship Yahweh, Yeshua, Yahuwah, Yahweh, Yehudi, if you worship Ashtoreth, Baal, if you worship anything on this planet, rather, or even if it be in the heavens, if you worship Dagon, the so-called fish god, if you worship Chemosh, the flying dragon, the flying water dragon, okay, you worship Satan. Even if you are an atheist, you don't believe in a God, you're still a Satan worshiper. Because if you don't believe in a higher power, what will that lead you to do? That will lead you to smoking cigarettes. That will lead to you committing sodomy. That will lead to you eating foods that you're not supposed to eat. That will lead to you getting tattoos, growing out dreads. You doing you, basically. The spirit of disobedience, which was once in the world during the time of Noah, which led to the Lord flooding the entire planet, because the thoughts of men was only evil continually, and it grieved Yahweh in his mind that he had made man on the earth. But again, there was always that one elect person right there, Noah, who found grace, right, in the eyes of the Lord. Which, when you look up John's name, right? You look up John's name, it means what? Yahweh, which means he has grace. Yahweh has grace. And how did the Lord show grace to our nation? By giving his only begotten son, Yahawashai. And through that blood, through the blood of Yahawashai, the lamb, the ultimate sacrificial lamb, the elect has hope and a chance. And through that chance, the elect is going to refuse the mark of the beast. The elect of the nation of Israel does not have the spirit of disobedience on them, as the majority of the world does. Okay, the elect will be, especially in these times, the elect will be in the spirit of obedience unto Yahweh, Yahawashai. Even as Yahawashai was obedient to the Heavenly Father Yahweh, even unto death. And another reason why the majority of the people on the planet is going to take the RFID chip is because they don't believe in miracles. They read the Holy Scriptures like it is a book of myths and fairy tales, not knowing that everything that is written in the Holy Scriptures, especially the King James 1611 version of the Holy Scriptures, everything that is written in there from the Apocrypha, okay, from the Old Testament to the Apocrypha, even unto the New Testament, everything that you read about in the Holy Scriptures actually did happen. Okay? It did happen. Okay? From the miracles to the Lord sending angels, these things actually did happen. Okay? It's not a fairy tale. It's not a myth. These things actually did happen. And the Lord is going to show miracles once again. Because when you read Isaiah 65, what did the Lord say concerning his servants? Which the Lord's servants is just another code name for the elect. Because we know that only the elect is going to serve the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and his son, Yahweh Shai. The Lord's servants are going to eat when food is only available via a RFID chip. The Lord's servants are going to eat. You know how? Through faith, through miracles. Rather, if the Heavenly Father makes manna rain from the leaves of the tree, rather if he make water come out the bark of a tree, the Lord is going to feed his elect men. You know? The Lord made quail rain from heaven. And he fed his people that way. He's going to do it again. Okay? You know, you might wake up one day and you might see one of the Lord's angels. Excuse me, are y'all open? Y'all open? You know, you might see one of the Lord's angels bringing you a plate of food, man. Real food, not fake food, not GMO food, but real food. Okay. You know, you might wake up one day and you might see a plate of baked barbecue chicken with some I don't know, you know, baked chicken with you know, whatever the Lord sees fit to feed you, you know, baked barbecue chicken, you know, the Lord knows what we like, you know, baked barbecue chicken, steamed lamb, baked lamb, barbecue lamb, cooked, fried lamb, you know. But all we know is that the Lord is going to feed his elect men. Okay, in the book of 1 Kings, the Lord commanded ravens to bring Elijah food. Okay, and Elijah represented the elect of his time. But the majority of the world do not have the level of faith like that to believe that the Lord can do these things. So you know what's going to happen? These people are going to end up taking the RFID chip to eat because they don't believe in the Heavenly Father. Okay. I'm about to get ready to clock in at the plantation. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 10. You know, let me start at 9. Let me start at 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed. Who's the wicked? Well, let's start with Job chapter 9, verse 24. Okay, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Okay, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. You know, he covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Okay, when you go into that word wicked, right? When you look it up at google.com, it literally means evil or morally wrong. Okay. When you go to Malachi 1 and 4, okay, Malachi 1 and 4 identifies the wicked as being the Edomites. Okay, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them what? They shall call them the border of wickedness. Esau's the border of wickedness. Okay, Esau is Edom, according to Genesis 36, verse 1. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan. Okay, that CHIP is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And that's why the majority of the world is going to take the RFID chip, because they have rejected the truth. The truth being Yahweh Shai. They have rejected the word of Yahweh, which is Yahweh Shai. And the majority of our people, they're going to take that chip because they have rejected the word of the Lord, and they do not believe in the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai's miracles. But the elect of the nation of Israel, the 1/3, they believe in the miracles of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. And therefore, the Lord will have mercy on them. So with that, I'm going to say Shalom. It's on to the next one.